guys? I hope you're doing well. We're going to be going over how to make this kind of bass inside of Serum today. It's pretty much like a slap house bass. It is a slap house bass, and I think in the original song they used the that Vengeance sample. I'm pretty sure they used that, but you know, I figured what's the point of making this video if I just showed you how to use the sample. So we're gonna go over how to make this kind of bass inside of Serum today, and all the presets and project are available for download for free down below. And the presets from this come from my top 100 Serum preset bank, which just dropped, so you guys can definitely check that out. There's tons of really inspiring sounds in there, so definitely check that out, and let's get into it. All right, so a couple things I want to go over is how I made these bass layers. So there's two layers here, how I layered them, and also a really simple sound design tool, which is just completely overlooked. And we're also going to take a look at the Midi too, because the Midi in this song is really important. All right, so that first bass sounds like this. Has a lot of nice low punch there. There's not a ton of high frequencies, and it actually complements the higher bass really well. We'll get to that layer in just a second here. But there's a couple key things in these basses that you guys need to watch out for. They're going to be punchy. They're going to be not fully sustained, so it's going to be kind of like a plucky bass. And we're going to be using a lot of distortion and filtering. Filtering is the most important part in my opinion. As for this preset, the wavetables are going to play a little bit of a role. So I use this ICANN has kick wavetable from the digital section, and this Evil Long Grease from the digital section too. And you might be wondering, why did I pick these wavetables particularly? It's really a random process at first, but over time you kind of get used to what each wavetable is going to sound like, especially if you're always using the stock Serum wavetables. The first one is 2 octaves down. This one's going to be like the punchy one. And the second oscillator is 1 octave down with 2 voices of unison and just a little bit of detune. But the thing about it is we're not actually using this for a tonal layer. We could, it still sounds really cool, but we're using it to FM from B for that first wavetable. And that might sound completely random to you. You might not even know what that means. We're basically warping oscillator A with oscillator B. So you can kind of think of it as transforming it a little bit. I know that's not the technical way of talking about it, but that's how I like to do it. And like I said before, the envelope is going to play a really big role. The sustain is all the way down and the decay is at 663. And if we change the decay a little bit, it's going to give us a different kind of style. And then with that envelope, we actually have it on a couple of things. So if we click on envelope 1, we go to the effects section. We have envelope 1 controlling the drive of the distortion and also the filtering. And let me actually play you the preset without all that filtering. It's just like a wall of sound. It's really crazy how a filter can shape a sound so much. So if you're wondering how to do this, all you have to do is put a filter on the filter section. You can also do it in the main one as well, but I like to do it in the filter effects section. So with your filter on, you can choose any shape you like. MG Low 18 is a really good one for these type of plucky basses. You can left click hold on envelope 1 and just drag it onto the frequency. And then from there you can adjust where it's going to cut off to. And the last thing in this is we're adding a pitch envelope to the actual sound. And the envelope here is on the coarse pitch. So what we could do is take envelope 2, the normal envelope's gonna look like this, put the sustain all the way down, put the decay around 29. Anything below 30 is usually what I'm trying to aim for. So we can put that right there, and we can drag it right onto the coarse pitch. And then we can go to the matrix and then make sure it's in unipolar mode. By default, it's going to be in bipolar mode, but like this, so the arrows are going to go both ways. So make sure you click it like this. And then I like to drag the macro 1 onto the aux source, which is going to give us the power to just control how much punch is there. And then I recommend just adjusting everything just to get the sound right for how you want it to be. All right, so we covered how to make a slap house bass kind of sound. Now it's going to be time to process it. And that little tool I was talking about earlier, which is completely overlooked, is an EQ. And in this case, take a look. I have 3 Pro Q3s here, 3 EQs. And if I mute all of these, here's what they sound like. And here's it after. It just shapes the sound so much. And if we actually look at these EQ shapes, they look ridiculous, don't they? We're not doing just like a simple low cut or anything. We're boosting a lot of different frequencies. We're reducing a lot of different frequencies to just shape the sound a little bit. You could argue that the volume is different, but still the whole tone of the sound is just completely changed. Funny enough, what I did here was I tried to match the tone of the style of that Imanbek bass. So I tried my best to kind of match the tone of this. Try to match it with this. So let me play it to you without these 3 EQs. It's honestly such an important mixing tip and sound design tip. I feel like it just kind of carves out certain frequencies and then it just leaves space for that really, really nice top layer. Funny enough, the only thing I have on here is one single EQ, which is just low cutting it. So we got a lot of that low bass, low punchiness from the first layer, and then I just EQ'd those out. And as far as sound design goes for this layer, it's going to be generally the same exact idea. We're going to be adjusting the envelope a lot. We're going to be adding some distortion with the envelope. And here I have the envelope on quite a few things here. It was really just like an experimentation kind of sound. And the wavetable here is the Disdoot wavetable and then the Evil Sweep table. So I actually like this one a lot for Slap House. And I also like that ICANN has kick wavetables too. They're just really dirty sounds that sound really good when you put them through a lot of distortion. And the last thing I want to touch on for the bass line is the actual MIDI. So let's take a look inside of here. We can see that it's offset, or just not even offset. It's just not on the actual first hit of the beat. So it kind of sounds like a ba-kum, ba-kum. It honestly just adds so much groove to the song. And let me actually place these back on the first hit. Let's take a listen. You guys can tell it just doesn't have a lot of that bump, doesn't have that little head bop. Real quickly, I can go over these drums. It's pretty much just a kick and a clap. This little hi-hat kind of sounds like a winding down clock a little bit. And I put some of these notes off grid, so it kind of sounds a little less natural. Sounds really cool in the mix. All those drums are from Fresh Future Bounce, my sample pack, and then all these effects. And I didn't have the vocals, of course, so I tried my best to just fill it up a little bit, add a little bit of sauce. All right, that's it for this one, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you guys kind of learned something about a little Slap House action here. If you guys like the presets, definitely check them out down below on my website. All of your support means so much to me, so I really appreciate it when you guys check that stuff out. At the very least, check out the free download of this project and the presets down below. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.